and a huge night for your career as well.
Massive night for my career. So yeah, victorious 100%. That's my goal, that's my plan, and that's my motivation. So yeah, looking forward to it. Respect to the team. May the best man win.
Thoughts? Well, my thoughts on it is that Jake Paul's had a lot of accusations over the years for a guy who's had no amateur fights. What's he had, about 10 or 12 fights? I'm not sure what he's had. And, you know, you look at the opposition he's had and people saying, when's he going to fight somebody? He stepped up. He's stepping up to a two-time world champion, a genuine heavyweight, a proper heavyweight champion, and an active.
Stream Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua on December 19th, 8 rounds, each 3 minutes. This fight answers every critic who claimed Jake only faces smaller opponents. Anthony Joshua weighs in at 250 pounds, even if he simply keeps Jake at the end of his jab. The reach difference is huge. Joshua has 6 inches on Jake. That's more than enough to cause problems. And that's before we even talk about Joshua's power. With his jab, long reach, and strong right hand, he can hit Jake from a distance where Jake can't even land a punch. Joshua has 43 amateur fights, 32 professional bouts, and a 28-4 record. He's an Olympian, a gold medalist, and a former world champion. Jake might be confident and very rich, but this is the size and skill matchup everyone asked for. The rules are straightforward. Joshua must come in under 245 pounds, and both fighters will use regulation 10-ounce gloves.
Respect to Jake Paul, but that's a dangerous fight for him. He probably gets knocked out, and I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm not saying nothing bad, but Anthony Joshua is Anthony Joshua. You know, he's multiple-time champion, Olympic gold medalist. You know what I mean? The last time somebody stepped in the ring with him that didn't have that much boxing experience was Ngannou, and you've seen what happened to him. Yeah. But big respects to Jake Paul. It's gonna be a good card. You know what I mean? It's a big fight. And it's a good fight, man. I give 100%.
It's a real high-stakes heavyweight matchup packaged as a spectacle. Mark your calendars. The first press conference is live on November 21st. Already, the tension is visible. Joshua will have to manage a tough weight cut while maintaining both his power and timing.
I'm out. You know, I think that's a very dangerous fight for Jake Paul. But at the end of the day, you know, we could have a big upset, you know. But I think that AJ is too much for Jake Paul at this point, and he's bigger than Jake Paul, in my opinion.
Do you think it's competitive? A lot of people are saying if AJ doesn't get him out of there in 2 rounds, it'll be a huge embarrassment.
I don't think that's not the case, that he's gonna get Jake Paul. At the end of the day, Jake Paul has been training hard too, and you know, he's a pretty good.
This is a steep challenge. He needs to make up for the experience gap while handling the size difference. Every training adjustment counts now more than ever. This isn't just a paycheck or a headline, it's a strategic battle with knockout power thrown in. Reactions are split. Some fans are praising Jake for fearlessly stepping into the fire against a heavyweight powerhouse like Joshua, bringing a fresh energy boxing hasn't seen in years.
So that he could see Jake leaving in an ambulance. Do you think it's that dangerous of a fight for Jake?
Yeah, I think this fight, if you get knocked out, you know, there's one thing, Ngannou getting knocked out with one shot, he's a big man. You know, when you get hit by someone like Anthony Joshua, it's gonna put you out, and if you get put out, likelihood is you might need to go to the hospital to get a brain scan. Hopefully this isn't the case.
Thinks, yes, I'll fight the 6 feet 6 inches former unified heavyweight champion today. Standing across from Joshua takes either extreme courage or a total disconnect from reality. That mix of admiration and disbelief. Bravery and madness, that's exactly why the world is glued to every update, debating it everywhere. From social media to barbershops, *****, and just when it seemed experts had reached peak disbelief, David Haye enters with energy that cuts through the room like a knife. His reaction was priceless. He looked at Jake's challenge like someone just told him Jake was taking on a freight train, and we all get it. We're watching Joshua train like a machine while Jake is trying to prove he belongs in the heavyweight chaos. Haye didn't hold back in his analysis. Haye basically said Jake's best punch would bounce off Joshua like a pebble hitting a tank, while Joshua's counters could send Jake running to the nearest hospital. But he still gives Jake credit choosing. Joshua is like ignoring every safe ride at an amusement
win situation. There's nothing he's done in any of his previous fights where you can say, well, if he does this, that's going to work against Anthony Joshua. I think Jake Paul's best shot bounces off Anthony Joshua, and I think the opposite isn't the case. I think AJ gets him out of there very, very comfortably, and he'll get paid probably one of his highest paychecks ever. So it's like I think it's a no lose.
park and hopping on the one that flips over a shark tank. It's bravery, strategy, delusion, or maybe all three. Whether you admire Jake's guts or see him chasing a dramatic 2024 plot twist, hey, is clear. Joshua risks nothing. Jake risks everything. And we all get a show nobody predicted, but everyone is watching. Asterisk, 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 David Hay set the tone, but Gareth A. Davies lays it out even colder. For Joshua, this is a payday, not a legacy mission. The rules are official: 8 3-minute rounds, 10-ounce gloves. Joshua under 245 pounds. This isn't an exhibition, it's real pressure. Gareth's point is sharp. If Joshua doesn't finish Jake early, ideally, before round 2, his reputation takes a hit the size of a stadium scoreboard. Win decisively, and Joshua gets the money plus visibility. Fail, and Twitter explodes. Money talks, and this fight screams cash. High reward, high risk, with every second watch.
Gloves, it is a boxing match, it's not an exhibition. This isn't a 58-year-old Mike Tyson. This is one of the most dangerous finishers in the world, who is probably 5 levels above Jake Paul and a weight division above him. I think it's irresponsible to let those two in a ring together in a proper boxing match. That's my view. It doesn't damage his bank balance, but if he earns...
Asterisk, Chris Mannix gives Jake some well-earned credit. The man has gone from preparing for a 135-pound exhibition to training for cruiserweight and heavyweight bouts in just weeks. He's switched sparring partners and dialed in a full heavyweight camp in Puerto Rico. Mannix reminds us Jake isn't just a meme. He's fought in massive stadiums, with up to 125 million viewers watching, and he lands a solid right hand. Still, Mannix is realistic. An upset is extremely unlikely, though a 1 in a million knockout isn't impossible. The truth: Joshua has to dominate early to protect his legacy, while Jake needs perfect timing and a sharp strategy to pull off the impossible. Fans are glued, expecting fireworks, controversy, and endless debate after the final bell. Asterisk, jumping from Gareth and Mannix, we enter Derek Kaiser's world. The man reacts to Jake versus Joshua like
knock down the first round and get up. Second round gets obliterated in the same way that Francis Ngannou gets obliterated. Enormous credit to Jake Paul for this, who is putting together the most unique box rec in professional boxing history. Nate Diaz is on his box rec. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is on his box rec. Mike Tyson is on his box rec. And come December 19th, Anthony Joshua is going to be on his box rec.
And Anderson Silva, remember?
Anderson Silva, one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time.
Someone handed him a microphone and a matchstick at the same time. Chisora doesn't blink. He talks like he's already predicting chaos in round 1. He wants teeth flying, a spectacle, and pure mayhem. He even praises Jake as if Jake conjured the fight out of thin air. But then he warns Joshua, if this goes past 5 rounds, his reputation gets roasted. Chisora is blunt: if Joshua doesn't finish Jake fast, the boxing world will be relentless. Asterisk, Derek is already booking a flight to Miami, expecting a show like a public execution rather than a boxing match. As wild as he sounds, he echoes what half the boxing world thinks, but is too cautious to say online. After all the analysis, here's the bottom line. This fight isn't just a bout. It's a cultural moment, a collision of boxing, celebrity, danger, and pure insanity. Joshua fights for pride, reputation, and dominance. Jake fights for respect, survival, and the chance to say, "I told you so." Fans everywhere are watching, popcorn ready, as 2 very different worlds clash. No matter your pick, December 19th.
See somebody's teeth falling out. So I told Anthony, I already messaged Anthony. I was like, listen, I tell you what, I said to AJ, if this goes past 5 rounds, everybody's gonna be having a go at you, because you can't go past 5 rounds with this kid. He has to go past 1 round or 2 rounds. Past beyond 4 or 5 rounds, you know, people are going to be doubting you as a fighter himself. So he has to smoke him out like what he did Francis Ngannou.
Stream Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua on December 19th, 8 rounds, each 3 minutes. This fight answers every critic who claimed Jake only faces smaller opponents. Anthony Joshua weighs in at 250 pounds, even if he simply keeps Jake at the end of his jab. The reach difference is huge. Joshua has 6 inches on Jake. That's more than enough to cause problems. And that's before we even talk about Joshua's power. With his jab, long reach, and strong right hand, he can hit Jake from a distance where Jake can't even land a punch. Joshua has 43 amateur fights, 32 professional bouts, and a
for AJ, because he's doing this for himself. And you have to understand, you have to give so much respect to Jake Paul. You know, whatever he says, he makes it happen. You know, before he was like he wants to fight Anthony Joshua, and people were laughing at him, and then suddenly it's happened, and people are like, wow, what's going on here? You know, so you kudos to that kid, man. He's very good at promoting.
Drop your thoughts. Is Jake Paul changing the game or setting himself up for disaster? Is Joshua hunting or just collecting another win? Who will come out on top? Who might get exposed? And what's the real story when that bell rings? Hit the like button, share this breakdown, and subscribe to Bloodline Boxing.